Okay, so what are the bile salts present in our body? Bilirubin and biliverdin. So among bilirubin and bilirubin is the major bile pigment because biliverdin is a intermediary product. And what is the source of bilirubin? What is the source of bilirubin? Degradation of hemoglobin. Very good. So it is a end product of heme catabolism. Okay. So after destruction of RBCs, we get hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is then further divided into heme and globin part. Globin is a protein. Thus it gets divided into different amino acids, and the heme part consists of pigments and iron. So the iron also gets separated, and remaining part is converted into biliverdin, and it reduces into bilirubin. Okay, so that bilirubin is produced in RE cells, reticuloendothelial cells. Okay, so mainly in spleen, in bone marrows, and in liver. Okay, so these are the points, places where bilirubin is produced. Clear? And this bilirubin is in unconjugated form. Okay, so unconjugated bilirubin, it is mostly lipid soluble, non-water soluble. Okay, so it needs to get conjugated, and this conjugation occurs in liver. So all the bilirubin from our body is transported to liver for conjugation, and it conjugates with glucuronic acid. Okay, glucuronic acid, and forms conjugated bilirubin. This conjugated bilirubin is water soluble. Now this is water soluble. Unconjugated bilirubin was lipid soluble, water insoluble, but conjugated bilirubin, after getting conjugated, it becomes water soluble. Okay, and then it comes to our bile duct to get mixed with bile, and sometimes it is stored in our gallbladder and then further poured in duodenum. Clear? So if we get bile pigments like bilirubin in urine, so that bilirubin should be conjugated or unconjugated? Conjugated. Remember this thing, if we are getting any bile pigment in the form of bilirubin in our urine, it is always conjugated bilirubin. Okay, unconjugated part is water insoluble, it is fat soluble, and it needs a carrier protein to transfer from spleen or bone marrow to the liver. And what is the transporter protein? Albumin. Okay, so unconjugated protein binds with albumin, and then it is transported via blood. Clear? Etuku clear to? And what are the bile salts? Bile salts are sodium or potassium salts of bile acids. So what are the bile acids? Cholic acids and what else? So these are the salts. So sodium and potassium salts of bile acids are bile salts. Clear? And the bile acids are cholic acid, deoxycholic acid, chenodeoxycholic acid. Clear? So the salts are sodium and potassium salts of bile acids added with glycine and taurine. Sodium and potassium salts of bile acids are bile salts such as sodium and potassium glycocholates and sodium and potassium taurocholates. If you are asked name few bile acids, so sodium glycocholate, sodium taurocholate, potassium glycocholate, potassium taurocholate. Clear? Clear? And someone tell me what is the role of bile salts or overall bile? What is the role of bile? Emulsification of fats. And what is the principle behind this role? How emulsification of fat happens with the help of bile? Because bile salts reduce the surface tension of the blood. Okay, so the surface tension of the blood, as it reduces cholesterols and fatty acids, they can get dissolved in blood. Okay, clear? So by lowering the surface tension, so role of bile salt decreases the surface tension. Helps in of fats in intestine, thus helps in digestion and absorption. Clear? Cholic acid, deoxycholic acid, chenodeoxycholic acid. Okay. So they are the bile acids, and bile salts, sodium and potassium salts of bile acids added with glycine and taurine. So glycocholates or taurocholates and sodium salt of them. Clear? Now coming to the normal scenario. Do we find any bile salt or bile pigment in urine in normal condition? Mostly no. Mostly no. But there is a pigment in urine that provides the straw yellow color of urine. Urobilinogen. Urobilinogen is further derived from bilirubin in our gut. In our gut, bilirubin, when acted upon by bacteria, produces urobilinogen. Urobilinogen, 80 to 85% of the urobilinogen, and then further converted into starcobilinogen and excreted in feces. Okay, so 85% of urobilinogen is converted into starcobilinogen again by bacteria, gut bacteria, and it is excreted with feces and it gives the yellowish brown color to the feces. Okay, now what happens to the rest 15%? It is reabsorbed and by portal circulation or enterohepatic circulation, it is transported back to liver. Okay, 10 to 15% of this urobilinogen from gut is reabsorbed and transported back to liver, and in this 10 to 15%, 5% of urobilinogen is excreted by our kidneys through urine, gives the straw yellow color. Okay. Urobilinogen, same jinish. Chromatin is something that gives color or related to color. That particle or that substance is urobilinogen. 5% is excreted by our kidneys as urobilinogen or urobilin, and it is the main reason for the straw yellow color of our urine. So now if we get dark yellow colored urine, that would be because of bilirubin, okay, and that bilirubin is obviously conjugated bilirubin. So if we get dark yellow, this will be because of bilirubin. And what kind of bilirubin it would be? Conjugated. ঠিক আছে? Clear? So generally we get urobilin or urobilinogen in our urine, not bilirubin. So when we might get bilirubin in our urine? Common sense. কখন bilirubin পাবো? Normally তো we don't get bilirubin in our blood. We get urobilin. 5% of the remaining urobilin is excreted by urine. So when can we get bilirubin in blood? Name one pathological condition. Jaundice. Jaundice. Very good. Jaundice, when the bilirubin level in blood rise beyond 1 milligram per dl. Okay, normal total bilirubin level is 0.2 to 1 milligram per dl. When it increases beyond 1, the total bilirubin, it is known as jaundice. Okay, 0.2 to 1 milligram per dl. Normal blood bilirubin level. Level of bilirubin in blood, normal in blood. Okay, if it exceeds 1, the condition is known as hyperbilirubinemia and it may be called as jaundice also. Okay, so we will study jaundice in details later on, but for now we should know that jaundice can be of various causes. Okay, hote pare keno hote pare? Because of the destruction of RBCs. Okay, so that may come under hemolytic jaundice. Jaundice can be of various causes. It can be of hepatic cause, it can be of obstructive cause, it can be of hemolytic cause. Okay, so in case of hemolytic jaundice, what happens? RBC destruction rate is much higher, so formation of bilirubin is much higher. That's why in case of obstructive jaundice, what happens? The conjugated bilirubin that was supposed to come into the intestine, it gets blocked. The way or the common bile duct or extrahepatic bile duct or intrahepatic bile ducts, they get obstructed, and thus the conjugated bilirubin cannot come into our duodenum, so it gets mixed with the circulation by backflow. Okay, and thus the bilirubin concentration rises in blood. In case of hepatic causes of jaundice, what happens? The hepatic cells, it is infected and thus it produces or destructs much more RBCs. Okay, clear? So these are the causes where we can get bile pigment and bile salts in our excessive bile salts and bile pigments in our blood, and that will be excreted in our urine also. So in case of bile pigments, detection of bile pigments, if we get bile pigments in our urine, all the causes of jaundice can be present. Like for your differential diagnosis, it can be hemolytic jaundice because bilirubin is increased. It can be hepatic cause of jaundice, hepatitis, or it can be obstructive causes. What are the obstructive causes? Can be stone, gallbladder stone. There is a stone and it can obstruct the bile excretion from gallbladder itself. Pancreatic head cancer, cancer of pancreas, head of the pancreas, and cancer of gallbladder itself or the common bile duct itself. Okay, clear? So these are the obstructive causes. ঠিক আছে? So in case of detection of bile pigments, all the causes, all the types of jaundice can give rise to bile pigment increase. But in case of bile salts, mainly the obstructive cause is there. Okay, when there is obstruction, the proper bile formation is there, and thus bile salts are increasing, but it cannot get out of the common bile duct or the gallbladder. So now coming to, so clear for bile salt increase in urine, or for the detection of bile salts in urine, the clinical interpretation would be obstructive jaundice. In case of bile pigment detection, any kind of jaundice can be there, hemolytic, hepatitis or obstructive. Clear? This much clear for everyone? Now coming to the methods of detection of bile salt and bile pigment. So for bile salt detection, what we perform is known as Hayes sulfur test. Hayes sulfur test. Okay. So in case of Hayes sulfur, this is the easiest of all abnormal constituent detection tests. Okay. Nothing to do, you just have to take urine sample, 3 to 5 ml of urine sample in a test tube, and you have to take distilled water in another test tube as control. Okay, so you have to take 2 test tubes. In one you have to take distilled water same amount, 5 milliliter or 3 milliliter, whatever you are taking in the test sample, and another in the test sample test tube you have to take 3 to 5 ml of urine sample, and now you have to add pinch of sulfur powder, just pinch of sulfur powder on both the test tubes. In case of presence of bile salt, sulfur powders will sink, and in case of distilled water, as there is no bile salt present, the sulfur powder will float, it will not sink, okay, for the initial 5-10 minutes. After certain point, due to gravitational pull or another factors, it may sink, some amount may sink, okay, but initially for distilled water it will not sink. So we will take 2 test tube and mark one as T for test and second for C for control. T for test, in both cases we will take 3 to 5 ml of, in here distilled water, here sample, urine sample. Next, pinch of sulfur powder, here it will sink, here it will float, and this is because of decreased surface tension due to presence of bile salts. Clear? So this is just for your understanding. So in case of test tube, we will take 3 to 5 ml of urine sample. In control test tube we will take distilled water, same amount, and in both the test tubes we will add pinch of sulfur powder, and we will see what that immediately the sulfur powder will sink in the test tube and it will remain floated in the control test tube. And why we take control? To see whether there is any contamination or whether there is any problem in our reagent or not. So if the sulfur powder is contaminated with dust and other particle, it may sink in the distilled water also, just to eliminate whether there is any contamination or not, any fault or not in our reagents, we take controls. Clear? So this is Hayes sulfur test. Now coming to bile pigment test. Bile pigment test is known as Fouchet's test. For bile pigment, Fouchet's test for detection of bile pigment. What is the principle behind Fouchet's test? Bile pigment, that is bilirubin, present in the sample will react with, first of all, it will not react, it will get adsorbed, okay, to barium sulfate. And how we get barium sulfate? We add barium chloride solution and magnesium sulfate powders, okay. So this will be converted into barium sulfate white precipitates, and the bilirubin present in the sample will be adsorbed in those white powder of barium sulfate. Tahole if we write it, bilirubin will be adsorbed in barium sulfate. এই barium sulfate টা কোথা থেকে পাবো আমরা? By mixing barium chloride and SO4. Okay. So this will be white chalky powder. So we have to mix same amount of urine sample and barium chloride solution until we get white chalky powder precipitates in our test tubes. You just listen to this, okay. Whatever you have to write is already provided. You just listen and understand. So sometimes what happens, we add barium chloride liquid with the sample pre-mixed with magnesium sulfate, okay. So what happens, the barium sulfate powder adsorbs the bilirubin present in the urine sample. Bilirubin in urine get adsorbed, not absorbed, adsorbed, okay. It is a surface phenomenon where the solid attaches with a solid particle or a liquid attaches with a liquid particle, solid particle with different phase, okay. So here we get white chalky powder in the precipitate of the test tube. Now we have to filter it out. We have to filter this powder, filtration, and the filtrate part is discarded. Whatever we get from the filtrate, that is discarded. We get this white chalky powder in the filter paper, we have to dry it. Dry the filter paper with this white chalky powder. So filtration is discarded. The filtration is not needed. We need only the white chalky powder precipitate. Why? Because bilirubin is adsorbed in this part only. Okay, now we add Fouchet's reagent. Fouchet's reagent that contains ferric chloride and trichloroacetic acid. Trichloroacetic acid. Okay, so this is a ready-made reagent we use. It contains ferric chloride and trichloroacetic acid. In presence of ferric chloride and trichloroacetic acid, the bilirubin present in this paper, bilirubin is oxidized to biliverdin. Okay. So bilirubin is oxidized to biliverdin by this ferric chloride and trichloroacetic acid. In presence of ferric chloride and trichloroacetic acid, bilirubin is oxidized to biliverdin. Now you tell me what is the color of biliverdin? Bilirubin was yellow and biliverdin is green, bluish green. Okay, so we will get a pista green or bluish green. Okay, we will get a pista green or bluish green color on the filter paper after adding Fouchet's reagent on that dried filter paper. Clear? So presence of this bluish green color will indicate presence of bilirubin. Clear? Everyone? Boja geche? And if asked what are the pathological condition where this can be possible, name one pathological condition. Jaundice, any kind of jaundice, it may be hemolytic, obstructive or hepatic cause. Clear? Boja geche? Any doubt? So to jot down, we started from bilirubin, that is the bile pigment present in excessive amount in our the major bile pigment present in our body, that is bilirubin. Bilirubin is the end product of heme catabolism. Biliverdin is an intermediate. Okay, so in the process of forming bilirubin, biliverdin is produced and it is reduced to bilirubin. Now here we are using the opposite reaction. We are oxidizing bilirubin to biliverdin to get that green color. Okay. And what are the salts, bile salts present in blood? Sodium or potassium glycocolate and sodium or potassium taurocholates. Okay. So what are the role of bile salts? Function of bile salt to emulsify the fats and thus by helping in digestion and absorption. Okay. And further, what is the pigment present in urine? Urobilinogen, and that is not pathological. Okay, if pathological dark yellow color or mustard colored urine is seen, that is because of bilirubin, and that bilirubin is mainly conjugated, because unconjugated bilirubin is water insoluble, it cannot be filtered out. And another thing, it is always unconjugated bilirubin is always attached with albumin. If the kidney is functioning properly, it cannot filter out the albumin and thus the unconjugated bilirubin cannot be filtered out. So the bilirubin that is coming out in urine is that has to always be in conjugated form. Okay, and the conjugation happens in liver. And what is the substance that gets conjugated with unconjugated bilirubin? Glucuronic acid. Okay, glucuronic acid. Clear? Bujha geche? And for the bilirubin metabolism, we saw in gut bilirubin is converted into urobilinogen. Urobilinogen, the major amount of urobilinogen is immediately converted into sarcobilinogen by gut bacteria, and only 10 to 15% is reabsorbed by enterohepatic circulation or portal circulation and comes back to liver. And of that 5% is excreted by urine, any urine. Clear? And what are the tests? His sulfur we do for detection of bile salt. Bile salt, by their property of reducing the surface tension, it helps in sinking the sulfur powder easily. If bile salts are present, sulfur powder will sink immediately, and if not, then it will float. So in case of obstructive causes of jaundice, we may get bile salts in urine and glucuronic acid. Unconjugated bilirubin gets conjugated with glucuronic acid. In liver, what happens? The albumin and unconjugated bilirubin, they were coming together in liver, it gets separated. Okay, and the unconjugated bilirubin part that conjugates with glucuronic acid and forms conjugated bilirubin, and the albumin is freed. Okay. Now the bile pigment test. For bile pigment, that is Fouchet's test, and the principle is bilirubin of the urine that gets adsorbed to the barium sulfate white molecules powders, and we get the white powder by filtrating out the solution, and we dry the filter paper and Fouchet's test, Fouchet's reagent. So Fouchet's reagent contains ferric chloride and trichloroacetic acid. These two helps in oxidizing bilirubin present in the sample, and it will convert into biliverdin, giving a bluish green or pista green color. Okay. Thus we can say that bilirubin is present. And for the pathological condition or interpretation inference, that is jaundice. All the kinds of jaundice. Clear? Okay. Thank you.